I'm Kevin Yoon. I'm the Director of Student Programs with the Buena Park School District, and today we have a very, very special feature for all of you. We have our debate teams from Beatty Elementary School and also Buena Park Junior High showcasing you their skills in debating. And the topics that they're going to be talking about today are related to food and nutrition. The debate program in Buena Park School District started about 5 or 6 years ago. It was something that originated by one of our parents on our gifted and talented education committees, and he saw a need for students to engage in critical thinking, debating, argumentation. So he helped birth this program in our district. And we compete in a league called the Orange County Debate League. And for the past 5 years, we've been the only public Title I school competing against private schools, where a lot of kids pay 20-something thousand a year. And guess what? Through the years of learning and trials and tribulations and hardships, last year, the first time ever, our school team has took home first place against all of these private schools. Yeah. And then, while they're engaging in this debate, they'll hear and critically analyze what their opponents are arguing, and on the spot, they come up with a rebuttal that is, again, sound and based on evidence. And all of this in front of 200, 300 people, right? Fifth and sixth graders, seventh graders, eighth graders. I know I couldn't have done that when I was a sixth or seventh grader back when I was going to school. But, I'm going to hand it over to Mrs. Terhune. She is our English teacher and debate teacher at the junior high, and she's going to speak a little bit more about the program. So please, let's give her a big round of applause.
So there are two sides to debate, the proposition and the opposition, and they always debate on a specific topic. I think you have your topics listed in front of you. And there's just a few more rules that I want to go over just so you know what's happening as you see it. One of the things is a POI, or a point of information. So while one team is up here speaking, the other team, someone will stand up and they'll say POI, or information, and they'll give basically a rebuttal to what they're saying. And then the student who is currently giving their speech will have to answer what they said. And you'll see that happen throughout the debate. Another thing that you'll see is heckling. And that is where students will say one or two words while they're not giving their speeches to try to answer what the student who's speaking is saying. And the same thing where the student who is speaking is listening to those heckles, and they will try to respond as they're giving their speech. You'll see refutations, and so usually that comes towards the beginning of the speech. They'll answer the opponent's arguments, and they'll give a reason why their arguments are not correct, why their arguments are the correct ones, and that will kind of go back and forth. What you're looking for in a good debate is clash, which is where the two sides are really going back and forth about the topic. Since these topics are about nutrition, and this is about clash, you're going to hear really strong arguments on both sides, hopefully, if it's a good debate, which might also mean you hear things that don't necessarily agree with what you think, because that's kind of the point of debate. You're going to hear both sides really strongly. So, it's not even necessarily their opinions, but it's the strongest way to argue that point. That's what they're doing. As their teacher and their coach, I know there are times where they are debating and I just step back and I say, oh my goodness, these students are in 6th, 7th, 8th grade, and they are just kind of amazing with what they do. So I hope you really enjoy what they're doing. Their critical thinking and argument skills, they make me really proud.
I'm going to explain a little bit about how we judge. So we're looking for 4 specific things when we're judging. We're looking at the arguments that the students are making. So are they understanding the issue? Are they following the correct format? We're also looking at their refutations. Were they able to respond to the arguments made by the opposing team? Also, their organization, are they following the format of presenting an assertion with reason, evidence, and the impact of why their argument is important? And finally, we're looking at their presentation skills. Are they making eye contact? Can we hear them?
The National Lunch Program. President Harry S. Truman began the National Lunch Program in 1946. He did it after reading a study that showed that many young men had been rejected from the World War II draft because of medical conditions caused by childhood malnutrition. Since then, the National Lunch Program was created. After that, the School Breakfast Program, also known as the SBP, was started in 1966 as a 2-year pilot program. It was used to serve nutritionally needy children. The term nutritionally needy was not defined, so the original plan was to serve free breakfast to schools in poorer areas. But Congress allowed schools everywhere to get free breakfast in order to get more schools to participate in the SBP. During 1966, the SBP served about 80,000 children at a cost of $573,000. In the next few years, the pilot program was modified and made permanent. We believe that the SBP should no longer continue. The National Lunch Program was needed to get more soldiers to be drafted in World War II. Now that World War II is over, school lunch works a different way. Students need to actually qualify to get free lunch. But school breakfast? Anyone can get free breakfast. This is why we are arguing against the SBP and not the National Lunch Program.
The SBP must continue. I will first like to fight their narrow, fight their assertions, say my own assertions, and finally conclude. First, they said that schools should stop serving free unhealthy breakfast. However, having healthy food is very expensive. And we are in a $19 trillion debt. No, thank you. Now, I would like to fight their assertions. First, they said sugar is dangerous. However, the USDA guidelines put no limit on sugar. And how can they say the United States Department of Agriculture is wrong?
POI?
No, thank you. Second, they said calories are not calories. They talked about Twinkies and blueberries. However, calories are needed for the brain to run. It doesn't matter if they're a little different.
Unlimited.
Third, they said it's a waste of money and food. However, it actually wastes $62.6 billion if we don't serve free breakfast, because free education costs $62.6 billion. And how can we expect children to think on an empty stomach? $62.6 billion down the drain. And we are in a $19 trillion debt. And for the food, I go to breakfast at least 3 to 4 times a week. And I see kids putting their food on the table. And even though the Southern California State Department of Education and Food Services is the best, you have to start somewhere. And that somewhere is here. It will grow, and we won't be wasting money anymore.
Our debate program at Buena Park School District is about 5 years old, and it really is the demonstration of 21st century skills that we believe are critical for the success of our young students. Skills of collaboration and teamwork, skills of communication, skills of critical thinking. So today we've watched 4 teams of children basically debating school lunches, school breakfast, organic lunches in front of learned professionals in the child nutrition profession. And it's been an exciting environment for them.
Our world has turned from skinny, scrawny, starving, to sick, fat, and nearly dead. We have gone from too little calories to too many unhealthy calories. For example, in the last 20 years, we have more than quintupled our sugar intake. And over the last century, our sugar intake increased by 20,000%. Hi, my name is Robin Shin on the proposition side of this debate, strongly agreeing with the narrowed topic, schools should stop serving free, unhealthy breakfast. First, I would like to build up back our assertion. The opposition tried to refute this by saying that we just don't have enough money, but yet in their own speeches, they said that we won't use a little more money to save our children.
First, they said sugar is dangerous, but we disagree because sugar also helps your body. You need sugar to survive. Sugar boosts your energy levels to make you active, and you also need to be active to be healthy.
Added sugar.
Next, they said calories are not calories. I understand what they're trying to say, but if they have something in their stomach, it will help them. Think about it like this. The food we're serving them is like low-octane gas. It's better than no gas at all, because if you have no gas in your car won't even run. And the proposition is trying to tell us to serve them high-octane gas, which is the organic food. But we don't have enough money to afford it, so we will just give them no gas at all, so their brains won't run.
Often families are living on very tight budgets and cannot afford to provide a good breakfast at home every day. Regardless of income, families today live busy lives that can make it difficult to sit down long enough in the morning to eat breakfast. Other children may have long commutes to school or long periods between breakfast at home and school lunch, leaving them hungry at the start of the school day. Eating breakfast at school supports health and learning for low-income children. Research also shows that children who eat breakfast at school closer to class and test-taking times perform better on standardized tests than those who skip breakfast or eat breakfast at home. Hi, my name is Akul Vora on the opposition side of this debate, strongly disagreeing with the narrowed topic which says schools should stop serving free, unhealthy breakfast. In fact, schools must continue serving free breakfast. I will first fight their narrow, refute their assertions, say our assertions, build back up 5 times, and finally conclude.
Sure, debate has so many benefits for students. One, it really is a support for foundations around literacy, around resourcefulness. It builds skills and research. And ultimately, when children participate in a debate, that collaboration and teamwork, working with other students, working with their coaches, is really a skills building as well as a confidence building experience for them. And we saw that today, certainly in the debate in front of 200 adults. Every one of our schools has an opportunity for students to participate in debate, and so they really just need to talk with their teachers. We start as early as 4th grade in getting kids interested in the art of debate. It's very exciting to see the work we've done in 5 years with debate. It's very exciting to have our kids competing and working with kids in private schools all over Orange County. I am so proud of the work that our staff does and the work of our students and the accomplishments that they've made in our debate program at Buena Park School District.